He just released terrifying warning of what's about to happen to Trump. It won't be long, by Frank Lee for freedomdaily.com. A former Secretary of State just got down and dirty on President Trump. John Kerry may have accidentally hinted at a deep, dark secret towards something corrupt and evil that might take Trump out of office, or take Trump out entirely. It was John Kerry, and he was in London talking to Hussein Agha in a conversation that spanned a multitude of topics. Agha is close with the Palestinian Authority, President Mahmoud Abbas. It turns out that Agha reported that he and 74-year-old John Kerry talked about and confirmed the conversation occurred. This report was issued to a senior Palestinian official located in Ramallah and confirmed to a publication called Ma'ariv. Some people felt John Kerry's words about Trump were cryptic. It felt like it was a warning about what might happen to Trump. If that was an accidental slip of the tongue, then John Kerry has a lot of explaining to do. If there's any truth in his choice of words, then Trump will need extra security and surveillance to ensure his safety. Ma'ariv reported that former U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry met in London with a close associate of Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, Hussein Agha, for a long and open conversation about a variety of topics. Agha apparently reported details of the conversation to senior Palestinian officials in Ramallah. A senior PA official confirmed to Ma'ariv that the meeting took place. J Post actually reported more on the controversial conversation that contained a warning for Trump. During the conversation, according to the report, Kerry asked Agha to convey a message to Abbas and ask him to hold on and be strong. Tell him, he told Agha, then he should stay strong in his spirit and play for time, that he will not break and will not yield to President Trump's demand. According to Kerry, Trump will not remain in office for a long time. It was reported within a year there was a good chance that Trump would not be in the White House. Kerry offered his help to the Palestinians in an effort to advance the peace process and recommended that Abbas present his own peace plan. Maybe it is time for the Palestinians to define their peace principles and present a positive plan, Kerry suggested. He promised to use all his contacts and all his abilities to get support for such a plan. He asked Abbas through Agha not to attack the U.S. or the Trump administration, but to concentrate on personal attacks on Trump himself, whom Kerry says is solely and directly responsible for the situation. According to the report referring to the president, Kerry used derogatory terms, and even worse, Kerry offered to help create an alternative peace initiative and promised to help garner international support, among others, of Europeans, Arab states, and the international community. Kerry hinted that many in the American establishment, as well as in American intelligence, are dissatisfied with Trump's performance and the way he leads America. It's rather unpatriotic for John Kerry to use such language about President Trump. It seems like Kerry is severely against Trump making America great again and possibly acting a bit traitorous in his conversation, you think? Americans need to know if his words were a threat and warning to Trump. No, it wasn't a warning and threat to Trump. He was telling the other guys that this is going to end this situation. He was telling the other guys to don't worry about it because he's not going to be in office. His words were not a threat and a warning to Trump. It was on the slide. That's what it was. It was a plan. He knows of a plan that's taking place. Is Kerry involved or linked to anyone planning to take Trump out of office? Of course he is. If so, then how deep does this chain of hatred reach? Very deep. If Kerry is not against Trump, then he should address his choice of words. I mean, how much more obvious do you need? What do you mean if Kerry is not against Trump? Are you kidding me after all of that he said that? Moving right along, Kerry's suggestions don't seem like the positive means of discussing the sitting president of the United States of America. While Kerry may be acting friendly towards those he talks to, is it unprofessional of him to speak ill of Trump in this way? That's the least of it. One Twitter dug a little deeper and felt compelled to alert the FBI, President Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, and the State Department. They mentioned a Hatch Act violation in their tweet, which is featured below. If this is true, this is a clear Hatch Act violation. Let's also start digging for Kerry connections to hashtag Iran deal, family ties including hashtag traitor, hashtag release the memo, hashtag find the text at Web Group 1 State Department, Imperator Rex 3, The Last Refuge 2, Donald Trump, Vice President, FBI, drop the mic 45. Wikipedia provided this information on the Hatch Act. The Hatch Act of 1939 officially, an act to prevent pernicious political activities, is a United States federal law whose main provision prohibits employees in the executive branch of the federal government, except the president, vice president, and certain designated high-level officials, 1, from engaging in some form of political activity. It went into law on August 2nd, 1939. The law was named for Senator Carl Hatch of New Mexico. It was most recently amended in 1940. How do you feel after reading about Kerry's discussion? Do you think his words were a Freudian slip warning? Is Trump in danger of being taken out in a way that only John Kerry and specific others know? What should Trump do? It's a Freudian slip. No, he was just outright telling the guy that he's not going to be in office. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of business as soon as he's out. And that's what he meant by it. And and now we need Web Group 1 to tell the people in government about the Hatch Act. I mean, don't they realize? Why is nothing being done about this kind of stuff? I mean, average citizens have to, take action here. I mean, what is anybody doing in government, to bring these people down? Like, once he did that, if they can get him on tape or something, how did we get this information? For example, this should be looked into. Too much is going on and nothing is being done about it, and it's getting very frustrating. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.